With the new C40, Volvo is joining the coupe SUV crossover party. It's got low-roofed coupe looks, all-electric drivetrain and advanced safety features. In many ways, this car was inevitable because coupe crossover SUVs are popular models, so it wasn't going to be long before the XC40 was joined by a stylish cousin, and here it is, the C40. It shares the same underpinnings and lower half styling as the XC40, so from some angles it does look a little awkward, but there's no denying its looks are dramatic. Unlike the XC40, however, the C40 is an electric car only. In fact, it's Volvo's first solely electric model. In this top-spec version, twin electric motors drive all four wheels and deliver 408 horsepower, enough to get it from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds. And with a 78 kilowatt-hour battery, it has a range of 273 miles, according to official figures. It does cost a fair bit, mind you, at over £58,000. It's up against cars such as the Tesla Model Y and the Ford Mustang Mach-E. There is a cheaper version, however, with a small 69 kilowatt-hour battery and front-wheel drive only. That gets 231 horsepower and can get from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds. At around £47,000, that's in competition with the Mercedes EQA and Audi Q4 e-tron Sportback. First things first, because this is an electric car, there's not a big old petrol engine under the bonnet. Instead, let me show you. We have got an extra boot. Shall we call it a fruit? A front boot? Anyway, it's not very big at only 31 litres, however, it is a really useful place to store the charging cables. The boot is a pretty decent size at 413 litres, but that curved rear hatch makes it smaller than both the XC40 and the Audi Q4 e-tron Sportback. You also can't slide the rear seats back and forth to give you any more boot space, but at least there is some useful underfloor storage. That sloping hatchback roofline has another effect. It rather limits headroom, and even when there's nobody sitting in the back seats, the view out of the rear window looks a little bit like you're looking through a letterbox. One thing you can do though is flip these headrests down to improve the view ever so slightly. And setting aside the limited headroom, the rest of the rear is the same as the XC40. So there's more than ample shoulder room and leg room, though the seats themselves could do with a little more lateral support. Up front, the C40 is basically the same as an XC40. So you get a comfortable seat, great driving position, and logically laid out dashboard. There are, however, some bits which are C40 specific. And one of them is this dashboard trim here, which is backlit at night and mirrors the contour maps of northern Sweden. If you're familiar with Volvos from the past years, the Portrait Aspect infotainment system won't seem all that special. But in fact, this is a whole new operating system developed with Google, and it's really rather good. It's really responsive and pretty much lag-free, runs the latest Google Maps, and you can download extra apps via Google Play. True, it doesn't yet feature Apple CarPlay, but if you're an Apple user, once you get over the shock of not being able to plug and play your iPhone, the sheer volume of native apps available to download pretty much makes up for any initial annoyance. Okay, so the fact that the heated controls are on the touchscreen and are a little small is a minor annoyance. Overall, it is a great system and a great interior. There is one more criticism though. Considering this car is £58,000, some of the materials in here could be a little more premium. As the top spec car, this model comes with the full list of driver assistance tech. It comes with pilot assist, which will help steer, brake and accelerate on motorways and dual carriageways, and it's a system which is a lot smoother than when it was first launched on the XC40 a few years ago, but it's still not quite as good as the systems on, for example, Lexus and Mercedes cars. Of course, being a car from the safety-conscious Volvo brand, it's bristling with clever tech to help keep you safe. This includes automatic emergency braking that can detect pedestrians and cyclists, a blind spot warning system with integrated automatic braking, an alert for traffic crossing behind you when you're reversing, and a rear collision warning system. Aside from all that technology, the driving experience is dominated by the power of those twin electric motors, which deliver 606 Newton meters of torque instantly and have a thumping 408 horsepower to call upon. When you look at the numbers, it's not actually any faster than something like a Volkswagen Golf R, but it feels like it is, partly because there's no gearbox that needs to find the right gear before you can accelerate for an overtaking opportunity. Like all Volvos, the C40 has a limited top speed of 112 miles per hour, and electric cars do tend to have lower top speeds than their petrol equivalents anyway. And if you are going at those kinds of speeds on UK roads, then you're probably going a bit too fast. And anyway, the C40 is at its best at a more relaxed pace. The steering is pleasantly light and the ride is pretty good, especially considering massive 20-inch wheels are your only option for the moment. Even the jolts from potholes and poorly surfaced roads are easily smoothed away. So that's big ticks for ride and acceleration. Where it's not quite so good news is when you take the C40 to a twisty country road. There does seem to be plenty of grip thanks to the four-wheel drive system, but go around a corner and there's plenty of body lane, which consequently makes it feel a little bit vague. The low-slung, more sporty-feeling Polestar 2 uses the same motors and underpinnings as the C40, but it's a much more fun experience. We suspect that, just as with the electric XC40, the cheaper, lower-powered single-motor model will suit the car much better. Look, don't get us wrong, the C40 Recharge is an excellent car. It's reasonably roomy and well equipped, reasonably efficient and rides well. The problem is those two rivals from the same company. The regular Volvo XC40 Recharge is a better family premium SUV, and the Polestar 2 is sexier and more appealing. It's great that these three cars exist. They're all brilliant examples of modern EVs. It's just difficult to see exactly where the C40 fits in. It's likely that the C40 will make a fair bit more sense in a lower spec version with less power, which should suit its laid-back nature better, as well as making it better value. But what do you think? Is the C40 a nice fit in the Volvo Polestar family, or is it a niche too far? Tell us your views in the comments below, and if you're considering buying a used one, or indeed any car, head to cargurus.co.uk to find loads of great deals from top-rated dealers.